From being one of the best Fortnite players in the entire world, to getting permanently banned on Fortnite after his best placement ever, to then winning an FNCS. However, Veno's journey wasn't always so smooth. So how did he go from being banned to becoming one of the top players of all time? This is the story of Veno. Veno, whose real name is Henry Veno Pearson, was born on the 26th of November 2004 in Bath, England. Growing up, he was the youngest in his family, and they moved around a lot because of his dad's job. He was always full of energy and super happy, but when he was about 11 years old, he started getting picked on at school, and this ultimately led his parents to start homeschooling him. During this time, his older brother introduced him to video games like Gears of War and FIFA. Veno also started playing PC games, including battle royales like H1Z1, and he absolutely loved the battle royale genre and eventually found Fortnite. And through Fortnite, he made so many friends and enjoyed playing the game so much that he decided to take it seriously. And with this being said, Veno started competing in Fortnite pretty early on. His first big event was the solo gauntlet finals in March 2019, where he would go into place in 318th. It wasn't the best, but it showed he could compete and ultimately keep up with the top players. Heading into the $30 million Fortnite World Cup, he teamed up with a fellow professional player named Juganza, a very well-known Swedish pro at the time. Although Veno didn't come close to qualifying for the World Cup, with his best placements being 335th in solos and 173rd in duos. However, he would still go on to make roughly $1,200, which was insane for a 14-year-old kid at the time. And after the World Cup, Epic Games announced the Fortnite Championship Series, also known as FNCS, in Season X. And Veno didn't compete in this FNCS season for some reason, but during that time, he made a very bad decision that would ultimately haunt him later on. His next appearance was in Duo FNCS in Chapter 2 Season 2, where he didn't perform well at all. He switched between 3 different duos in 4 weeks and only made it past the first round twice. But he had another chance in the Solo FNCS Invitational, where solos was his ultimate strong suit. In May of 2020, the open qualifiers for the Solo FNCS Invitationals began, and Veno went on to place in 25th on the first day, but unfortunately couldn't replicate his performance the next day, finishing in 901st place. Most people will be discouraged and most likely would have quit after this terrible placement. This terrible placement only motivated him to get better. Chapter 2 Season 3 featured an additional solo FNCS, giving Veno another chance to grind and improve. He played solo scrims every single day, and his hard work eventually paid off. As in the first qualifier, he didn't even make it to round 3, but the second qualifier started the next day, and he would go into place in 46th in round 1, 40th in round 2, and 17th in the finals, earning him a $350 prize and a spot in the heats. Additionally, in the third qualifier, he placed 87th, making an additional $200. But unfortunately, he was contested in heats and finished in a staggering 88th place. Even though he earned $1,000, he still missed the grand finals, which was his main goal in the end. Despite not having much success initially, Veno kept working his way up and started playing with better teammates like Nyrox, a World Cup duo winner with Aqua. But in Chapter 2 Season 4, he had his worst ever FNCS performance, with him not even making a single FNCS final qualifying for heats. However, he bounced back during the Frosty Frenzy, a trio event with a $5 million prize pool, making money in all 4 sessions and securing a whopping $2,000. Then in 2011, Veno had his best placement yet, finishing in 2nd in a solo cash cup, and he then teamed up with Kirikul and Patrick, looking to qualify for his first ever grand finals. And their hard work paid off, and they finished exactly 8th in heats, securing a spot in the grand finals. Though they placed 20th in grands, just qualifying gave Veno the confidence to keep grinding. Then came his big break. Aqua picked Veno to trio with him and Sir, with them being top players at the time. Despite not having the best placements initially, Veno showed potential as an individual player, and Aqua were going to take a chance on him. And with this being said, in less than 2 seasons, he went from not qualifying to heats to playing with tier 1 pros. Chapter 2 Season 6, known as Primal Season, was very rough, and most pros didn't even want to grind, and this gave Veno an edge. Playing with and learning from the best players every single day helped him to improve very quickly, and with this being said, Veno, Aqua and Sir dominated the qualifiers, easily securing a spot in the heats. It seemed like Veno was finally on his way to dominating an FNCS Grand Finals, but then everything came crashing down. A decision he made 2 years earlier ultimately caught up with him. You see, buying and selling Fortnite accounts was against Epic Games' rules, and in June of 2018, T3 bought an account with OG skins and got both his main and purchase accounts deactivated. And Veno bought an account at the end of 2019, thinking it was no big deal since he was unknown then. But Epic Games started investigating accounts of FNCS Heats qualifiers and found out Veno's account was ultimately bought. And with this being said, his account was permanently deactivated, and he and his trio were ultimately disqualified from the FNCS Heats. It was absolutely devastating. He was on the path to becoming one of the best players ever, only to lose it all over some cool skins and cosmetics. It seemed like the end of Veno's career, but he wasn't banned, just his account was deactivated, and he he could still compete on a new account since he wasn't banned for cheating. And this ultimately gave him a second chance, and he was not going to waste it. Right after this, Fortnite hosted the Solo All-Star Invitational event. 90 of the spots were filled up by top players from Trio FNCS, and 10 spots were up for grabs in open qualifiers. And Veno joined a coaching group with top players like Janice and Rezon, with his private coaching group being led by Destiny Jesus. And with all that being said, his preparation paid off, with Veno performing super well throughout the open qualifiers, finishing second and securing a spot in the grand finals. Then in the grand finals, Veno was guaranteed $2,000 but aimed for the $150,000 prize for first place. Nobody expected much from him, but Veno was ready to prove them wrong. Going into the last game, he was in first place, 3 points ahead of Tayson, the greatest player of all time, and it came down to a 1v1 between them. And unfortunately, Tayson were going to take the win. While Veno was disappointed, he still placed second, winning $75,000, more than most pros will ever win in their entire career. After that, Veno's year was fairly quiet, with his only notable placement being 18th in trios with Swilliam and Obai. He struggled to find a team since many didn't want to play with him due to his lack of results outside of solos, and this led him to focus on solo cash cups much more, with him improving his mechanics, ability, and reputation as a solid solo player. And going into chapter 3, Veno finally found a solid trio with Joe and Queasy. Queasy, known as one of Europe's best IGLs, and Joe, a talented fragger, teamed up with Veno. They built chemistry throughout the season and won the chapter 3 season 1 cash cup, giving Veno his first major tournament win. They then placed first in the FNCS qualifiers and semi-finals, and in the grand finals they had an amazing first day and finished second overall, just 3 points behind first place. Though they didn't win, this solidified Veno's position as one of the top players in the game. That's the story of Veno, from being banned to becoming one of the best Fortnite players in the world. Veno's journey shows that with hard work and determination, you could overcome any setback or challenge. Thank you all for watching all the way to the end of the video. I really do appreciate any of your support, and by just simply liking, subscribing, and commenting your favorite moment from this video, it truly goes a long way and helps me out tremendously. And with that all being said, I really hope you'll have an amazing rest of your day. Laters.